Hello. So let's start with the mock PI. I hope you're all ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. So firstly, I would like you to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so I was born and brought up in Jaipur. That's where I completed my schooling. After schooling, I pursued engineering from BITS Pilani, and in my college, I was involved in a few extracurricular activities that led me to discover product management as a career. And I started with a short internship at Doubtnut, and then I tried to explore this field further, and then I switched from a full-time role as an analyst to product management at Producthood or the Growth Monk Ventures Limited, where I'm working currently. And my hobbies are like I'm very interested in artistic endeavors like sketching and paper mache.
That's great. Ashita, you mentioned that there were some extracurricular activities that led you to this path. So what were those activities? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, sure. So as I told you, like I'm very passionate about art and sketching, especially. So I was into a department called Department of Art Design and Publicity. So that department was responsible for campus decorations and media outreach for the fests. And that's when I realized that the basic work we had was to make the experience of the fests great for all the participants and the visitors there, be it the campus decorations or creating photo booths or anything like that. That's when I tried to discover career fields in that sense. And I also participated in a competition for like in my third year, we had to attend classes online, right? Due to COVID lockdown. So I was also involved in a competition. That's when I won the first prize also. So the competition was about how to make the resources of library available online for the students so that it can make lives of both the students and the library management easier. So that's when I started pursuing this field. I got to know about this field, and then I got an internship at Doctor.
That's amazing. So one more question. So in this society, you must have, a lot of teamwork and leadership abilities as well.
Yes.
Right? So tell
Yes.
me about a time where you demonstrated leadership skills.
Yeah, so I joined in my first year, and from my second year, I was a core team member, and I was solely responsible for ideation and implementation of decorative items in the fests. So I was managing a team of 25 juniors to ideate the types of lamps or anything that we can use from scratch, we can build from scratch to create campus decorations. I was involved with like interacting with the electricians also, with how we can create the experience for the participants.
Okay, that's great. So Harshita, why MBA specifically? Why would you like to, enroll yourself into this
Yeah.
field?
Yeah, so I have been working for the past year, and I realized that to be fully equipped with the managerial tools, I need a formal business education because as I have been an engineer and I have been working in the product management role, but I think a formal business education will also equip me with a vast network from of individuals from various fields. Like they are freshers also. There are students from various fields, and that will help me develop a creative mindset, and it will help me further in future roles that I pursue.
It's amazing. So that's it from my end. Poonam ma'am, you can carry on the questions.
Yeah, thank you, Sakshi. Well, Harshita, from your roles, like, how do you see a management problem solving role different from an engineering problem? What
Yeah.
is the difference?
So I think I can be wrong also, but I think like when an engineer is working, like he has to work on the solution part, and but if I have management skills, I can identify the problem more efficiently, and then I can get a direction of where to work and where to put my resources or the company's resources for which I am working for, and I think those skills are very necessary to work in a project.
Correct. Correct. Okay. From now coming to my previous question, how would you integrate your learnings from the field of engineering to data analytics to this product management role?
Yeah. So, as I said, from the engineering perspective, so engineering helped me in developing a problem-solving mindset around like identifying problems and thinking about solving them for the users. The data analytics part is very helpful in analyzing data, interacting with, because product management as a career, as a work also involves a lot of interaction with the users. So, data analytics helps me to analyze the behavioral pattern of the users and to implement database solutions. And product management comes at the solution part, where I can implement the solutions, I can build more user friendly products.
Okay, good. Any specific example that you can cite where you integrated the three disciplines?
The three disciplines. So yeah, currently also I'm working in product management. So at my firm we have different clients from various fields. So from the engineering perspective, when I interact with clients, I think from an engineering background helps me interact with the clients in an efficient way to understand their needs or the requirements. And in the data analytics part, I have been involved in a lot of data analysis based on interacting with users, understanding their needs and their pattern, or even their background comes into play in some cases. And with the product management, I am able to use my design thinking and the user journey and the design skills in a more efficient way to build the products.
Okay. Good. So, what do you think about market research? How does it help in product designing? In what way?
Yeah, so market research, in the sense that for the market research, when I interact with various stakeholders, I interact with market research also involves interacting with various competitive products, what they are doing in this field, and what new can be done, and what is the scope also, and especially the users, what are their requirements, and this form of data is very helpful in analyzing the problem and implementing a solution.
Okay. Okay. Now, coming to a general question with regard to, you say, what are your views on politicization of anything which need not be politicized? General views.
Ma'am, for example,
there are certain issues coming up daily, which they take a political angle, which may not be required. So what do you have to say on that? Like they it is like compulsorily they just bring in politics whether it is required or not. So
yeah. So one thing that I have observed recently is religion that has been associated with politics in the recent time, and I think that politics is something we cannot escape in this world, because everything is political. But at the same time, there are times when we can ignore something being political. There's no need to mention if there is a crime happening or anything. We don't need to mention every time it's not related to the political association or the religious inclination of the victim or the criminal. But at the same time, again, because I have a data analytical mindset, so sometimes it is also important to analyze it from those perspectives, to create a pattern, to analyze a pattern in order to take actions, so in order to avoid future instances.
Yeah, this is good critical reasoning you have given. Nice. Okay. So how do you see yourself in say 5 years from now?
In 5 years, I see myself taking up more responsibilities. I am much more inclined towards the product management field. But as I enter a business school, I'm open to exploring various opportunities. And in 5 years, I assume myself in a more responsible position, handling a team, with working with cross-functional responsibilities, and taking much more important decisions with respect to the organizations.
Okay. So that's it, I think. I think, sir, you can just continue.
Yes. Yeah, Harshita, you are an engineer, am I correct?
Yes.
So, talk about your engineering years. I was looking at your academic background. When you look
Yes.
at your 9th and even 10th marks, 12th marks, the graduation marks have been starting first year, second year has been very less. So,
Yes.
why such a big change happened?
Yeah, so I think it is completely on my lack of discipline in my initial years. When I just entered college, I was not much comfortable with the system, and it just took me time to adapt. And it is completely my lack of discipline, and I think I could have done better in those years.
Okay. So, even in one of your talks, you said the politics and the religion thing. If we see religion being added to politics and vice versa, whom do you think as a data analytics mind, who is to blame?
We cannot blame anything in particular because it has been like in any political scenario, we have been inclined towards we have been exposed towards various ideologies since the beginning, and there's no particular, there are just different perspectives. So what's right for me can be wrong for anybody else, and it's just based on different perspectives, right? So I don't think there's any particular person or any particular party to be blamed for this.
In the democracy, it is all ruled by people only, isn't it?
Yeah.
So until unless there is a some buyer, there will be no seller, isn't it?
Sorry.
अगर buying हो रहा है तभी selling हो रहा है.
Yeah.
तभी आपका अगर buying, basically my understanding is a very simple one. Everything is a reflection of people, isn't it? Everything in democracy is a reflection of what people want. So in a way, it's a circle which is moving from people rather than any person doing it.
Audible. Hello.
Am I audible to you?
So can you repeat?
The point I was saying was that in democracy, it is basically the people reflection which we see in the
Yes.
politics. It's not the party or a politician specific thing. If people want it, it will happen.
Yes.
So now coming to back to your profile, the question is, how do you bring diversity to the group? Actually, you are a very I would say 90% of people will have the same kind of profiles which you are having. So how do you bring diversity in the class?
So first of all, I bring diversity from my experience. I know that most of the people might be having this profile, but in an MBA college, people are from various profiles. Like people would be from the commerce background, also from the arts background, also. And I think like my experience, my past experience in data analytics and product management can help them benefit into when my peers would be trying to explore roles in these fields, and I would benefit from their experience or their past academics from the various fields.
Okay, data analytics and the product management. Okay, let me put a question. Let's say there are 30 people in a group.
Yeah.
Okay. After office, these 30 people are there. Let's say, and there's a decision which you are taking. Let's say, should we have a coffee vending machine or a tea vending machine? Okay, let's have a vote. And in that 30 people group, people are voting for it. Let's say 25 people voted for coffee vending machine and 5 people voted for tea vending machine.
Yes.
As a data analytics person, if you are let's say the admin manager and you are the person who is in charge of buying that vending machine, what will be your decision? Applying all the data analytics, product management skills and all, and even your math skills like from engineering and all.
Yeah. So apart from the voting, I would also consider the various options that people already have. Like if people want to have a coffee vending machine or a tea vending machine, what is the overall budget of the organization? This is something we have to take in consideration.
Let's say there is the same price.
Okay. And other thing would be like how is it affecting their efficiency? Like if having a beverage is very important, and if let's say if there is a tea stall nearby which is selling affordable tea, so people
I
can.
understand. Actually, it's moving in a different way. Now, I'm not looking at it as a business point of view. The question actually was statistics question. I'm just trying to look at it in a sample testing way. Sample, अगर 30 लोगों का sample है, तो आप कैसे वो करेंगे?
So basically, if majority people want to have a coffee vending machine, then I think as an admin, my decision would be to have a coffee vending machine.
And that building has all other floors even. Let's say there are 12 floors, same office, so people even can come for a coffee vending there, and you don't have any data from there. Let's say.
Sorry.
Let's say you are just talking about one of the floor where there are 30 people working. 30 लोग work कर रहे हैं एक floor में.
Okay.
12-15 फ्लोर है मान लेते हैं, सेम ऑफिस है, कोई भी आ सकता है, नीचे भी आके वो कॉफी पी सकता है, तो आप कैसे डिसीजन लेंगे? वो एक सैंपल साइज है पॉपुलेशन में.
Okay, so these 30 people are from a single floor, right? Yeah. So maybe we can do an extrapolation, like how is it affecting the whole crowd, and then we can work on towards the implementation.
लेट्स से अगर मुझे सैंपल टेस्टिंग करना हो तो कैसे करेंगे?
So
पहला पॉइंट क्या होता है स्टैट्स में कि आपको ये प्रूव करना होता है कि सैंपल इज अ ट्रू रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. 15 फ्लोर है, 12 फ्लोर है, दैट्स अ पॉपुलेशन, इजंट इट? आपका एक फ्लोर एक सैंपल है, तो हाउ यू प्रूव दैट दैट सैंपल इज अ ट्रू रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द होल पॉपुलेशन?
sorry sir, I don't know.
सैंपल टेस्टिंग कैसे करते हैं? स्टैट्स में यू नो सैंपल टेस्टिंग, टी टेस्ट यू नो.
Sorry.
T test, you know, when we check any sample, when we have to prove that that is a true representation of the population, we usually take some test. Is that sample a true representation of the population? Are you aware of it?
Yes sir, I'm aware of it, but I have not done that before.
अच्छा, नहीं आपने डेटा एनालिटिक्स एंड ऑल यू टॉक्ड अबाउट, दैट्स व्हाई द क्वेश्चन स्टैंड. ओके, अच्छा ठीक है. एक और क्वेश्चन पूछता, मैथ्स में जाते हैं. देयर इज अ सर्कल, ओके, एंड देयर आर 10 पॉइंट्स ऑन द सर्कमफ्रेंस ऑफ द सर्कल. वी हैव टू मेक अ ट्रायंगल यूजिंग द वर्टिसेस. वो पॉइंट्स को सर्कमफ्रेंस में हमने ट्रायंगल के रूप में एक वर्टिसेस लेना है. कितने ट्रायंगल्स बन जाएंगे?
Triangles बन जाएंगे. So we have to for a triangle we need to select 3 points out of those 10, right?
Correct.
So a way of randomly choosing 3 points out of those 10 would be 10C3.
10C3, that is how much it will be?
Yeah, so that would be 120.
करेक्ट. एक और इजी क्वेश्चन है. लेट्स से हम एक प्लेन में बहुत लोग मतलब बोर्ड कर रहे हैं और 100 people are boarding, let's say, in a plane. The first person lost, उसका अपना टिकट वो लूज हो गया, वो उसके पास टिकट नहीं है, तो उसे पता ही नहीं कौन सी सीट है, वो रैंडमली बैठ जाता है कहीं भी अंदर जाके. The first person who moved in. Now the other people are moving in are taking their assigned seat. अगर वो assigned seat पे उन्हें नहीं मिलता है और मान लेते कोई बैठा हुआ है, तो वो कोई भी रैंडमली सीट ले लेता है. Okay. So what is the probability of the last person entering the seat getting his own assigned seat? मतलब last person जो move कर रहा है, what is the probability of he getting his assigned seat?
Okay, so can I take a minute to comprehend?
Yeah, take your time. Should I repeat the question?
No sir, I understood.
Okay.
So sir, I think from my approach it would be like if we consider that everybody's sitting on a different seat, so that's when the last person would have to take a different seat, right? So the first person is already sitting on the wrong seat, right? So the next person,
the first person lost the ticket.
Yeah.
So we don't know whether he took any random seat.
Yeah.
So there is a probability of he even selecting the right seat. Am I correct?
Okay.
उसके बाद जो भी आदमी एंटर करता है, या तो वो अपनी असाइन सीट पे बैठ जाता है, या अगर असाइन सीट में कोई और बैठा होता है तो वो रैंडमली फिर सीट ले लेता है। तो जो लास्ट पर्सन जो एंटर करता है उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या है कि वो 4 से असाइन सीट पे ही उसे मिल जाएगा या कोई नहीं बैठा होगा उसकी असाइन सीट।
Okay. I don't know.
अच्छा, okay. अच्छा, now talking about your accomplishment, there was one question in your application about the accomplishment, significant accomplishment you have done. So talk about it.
Yeah. So as I started my work at Producthood or Growth Monk Ventures, so Producthood is the brand name. So the company is about we have clients. So we work as part-time product managers for those clients, and we have an edtech venture where we conduct online classes for the students. And another thing that I'm currently working on is creating a new product from the scratch. So my work involves working directly with the founder, and I think it was a very big achievement from for me, because earlier I had worked in internship and I had worked under various managers, but right now I was working directly with the founder, and I was working in various projects at the same time. So I was working on the competitive research, I was working on the user interaction also, I was also in meetings with the clients also. So that was something I thought of as a very big achievement.
You working with a startup is an achievement. That's an achievement.
No, not the startup, but on the project, when I was single-handedly taking care of the market research also, the competitive research also, and the user design, like user journey, like implementing the user journey, and finally the product is in the development phase right now. So working on this project.
Working the project, and what exactly accomplished in there?
Yeah, so the working on the project, and the project is finally in the development phase.
उसमें accomplishment क्या है? That's what I'm trying to understand. ये तो वो बात हो गया कि मैं प्लेन में बैठा, ये मेरी accomplishment है, या मैं 10th क्लास में था, ये accomplishment. आपकी क्या accomplishment है? आपने क्या किया वहाँ पर?
So I felt that like successfully having that product on a production phase, and then so
जैसे एक एनालॉजी देता हूँ, काफी लोग इंटरव्यूज में आते हैं, उनका ये क्वालिफिकेशन होता है कि मैंने आईएएस का तैयारी किया है, आई प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर आईएएस एंड दैट्स एन अचीवमेंट आई डिड. ओके, नहीं, ये गलत आंसर. एग्जैक्टली, अकम्प्लिशमेंट शुड हैव अ मेजरमेंट, एनालिटिक्स टू इट. एंड अगर यही सेम आंसर ऐसे दिया जाता कि आई इंक्रीज द, लेट्स से क्लिक रेशियो मैंने बढ़ा दिया, या कन्वर्शंस बढ़ा दिया, या फुटफॉल बढ़ा दिया, ये accomplishment. Accomplishment of working in a startup or even a project is not an accomplishment. अच्छा, आप स्टार्ट करिए फीडबैक.
Okay, Harshita, I want to ask you one more question. It is about how do you relate demand and supply with inflation?
Demand and supply with inflation.
How is demand and supply affected by inflation?
So I think with the inflation, there is a shortage of supply. That's what causes inflation. And at the same time, there's an increase in demand. So when there is a disbalance between supply and demand, there's a shortage of supply and there is an increase in demand. That's what causes inflation, right?
Okay. Okay, now coming to your feedback, how you performed, one thing I would like to draw your attention to, as Sir also mentioned just now, you have to be specific when you talk about your achievements. Okay.
Yes.
And like you, in goals, you are specific, like in your objectives, you are specific. When you formulate your CV, specifically you have to write down your goals and objectives. So in that way only, you have to be specific about your achievements, and you are a data person. So you can talk in terms of data. Like, for example, you can say in your achievements, this is an example, like I worked for the benefit of the companies so that the the cost of the product decreased by 5%. Okay. So the cost to the company, you helped to decrease the cost to the company by 5%. So that is your achievement. So when you talk in terms of data and statistics, it is more impressive. So think and then formulate your answers in that way. Okay. One is this. Another is don't give, when you talk, don't break your tone in between by taking pauses, and at least don't say, don't elaborate it. So even if you have to take a pause, no problem. But don't, include other tones into it. Okay.
Yeah, understood.
And be very respectful to the panel when you talk. You can address them also, like sir or madam, whichever the case may be, when you talk. So that creates a more impressive, view of the candidate, right? And another thing is, are you distracted?
No, ma'am. I was writing your points actually.
Okay. So what is your feedback on your interview session?
So one thing I realized was I need to work on my speaking skills. That's what I realized while answering. In my head, I had prepared the answers, but while giving the mock interview, I should be very specific about how I put my tone forward, like you mentioned. This was something like I realized while giving the interview also. And another thing was the specificity that you mentioned. When sir was asking questions, I was sometimes not specific with my answers. What I wanted, what I achieved, what I accomplished, what I wanted to answer. I was not specific about those in my answers.
Yes, you need to, you are right on that. So once you do your homework in that area, you can give more, well formulated answers. That will help you. And you can, refine it every time. You can write it also, and then prepare it, speak it, and then again rewrite it, improve it, improvise it, and then practice it. So you will be in control, and sit straight, don't slouch when you give the interview. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Sharil.
Yes, Archana. So for me, I think you were not prepared with the answers, such as, there was not, a proper thought process with the general questions that we asked, such as, introduction or leadership quality. The answers that you gave were very general. Rather than it was, not well articulated, or sort of you were not prepared with them. So the answers that you gave were very general, and, even if we ask someone randomly, they would give those answers, right? So you need to also work that, these are some general questions that we have, 99% of the time they would be asked, such as your leadership skills or your introduction. So you need to refine them in a way, such as Poonam mentioned, even in your leadership skills, you can, mention that when you became the leader or when you took the lead, how, how it impacted your society. Like, let's say that even like last time if that event was organized, only there was a footfall of 50%, but when you took the leadership, it doubled. So, even in your leadership, when you are generally telling about yourself, add substance to it. So you can say that, let's say, even in your introduction, like when you were mentioning about yourself, you can say that how it was interconnected, how did you land something. So bringing substance to your answers and not giving just general answers. And also you should be prepared. Like, I think with your answers, you were not prepared because they were really short. Short answers are not a problem, but then they were looking like, you didn't have anything else to, add to it. So that was a problem for my end, and you can work on it.
So, Harshita ji, let's say an engineer, a BITS Pilani engineer with a data analytics background and the product management background moves into any MBA class. आप 3 skills की बात करो जो उससे expected हो.
I think first of all would be the communication skills that comes with the BITS Pilani background, which I think I did not portray in my interview. And another thing would be the skills, the technical skills in data and even the product, which again, like with my answers, it was not quite clear.
ठीक है, आपके एक तो नंबर्स शुड बी वेरी स्ट्रांग, एक नंबर स्किल्स आपके माना जाएगा कि आप अच्छे हैं। सेकंड स्टैट्स, क्योंकि अब प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट है, डेटा एनालिटिक्स है, तो बेसिकली डेटा एनालिटिक्स या उसमें स्टैटिस्टिक्स ही वर्क कर रहा है। तो ये प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट पीएमजी तो इज वेरी वास्ट फील्ड, वो तो एक बाइंग से लेके मर्चेंडाइजिंग वो सब बहुत बिग फील्ड है प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट। तो आई विल नॉट टॉक अबाउट पीएमजी ऐसे skill set, but आपके numbers, analytics will be considered as skill set which you bring to the class. So obviously you'll be checked into that. That's your past speaking. तो वो lacking था। देखिए, अब now coming to the very basic questions like why MBA and why you. Why MBA तो many people are able to answer very, मतलब वो prepare कर लेते हैं answers, लेकिन why you people are not very well articulated to answer. Why is also very important question. Why you मतलब आपको क्यों लेना चाहिए? आप तो MBA ले रहे हैं वो तो हमें समझ आ रहा है, लेकिन आपको क्यों लेना चाहिए ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है। Accomplishments में you should always have a matrix, एक स्टोरी होना चाहिए। जैसे कि हम बोलते हैं ना कि हम विनी विधि वीसी का इंटरव्यू, हम पहले देखा कि क्या सिचुएशन था। मान लेते कि at that time the market was having a revenue, so let's say 4 crores. I moved into it and it went into 40 crores. You should have a very defined metrics you should be talking about, whatever it might be. Let's say आप उसे मार्केटिंग के रूप में बात कर रहे हैं या आप स्ट्रैटेजिक रूप में बात कर रहे हैं, whatever the way it might be, you should have some measurement or metric or a number associated with your answer, so that the other person is able to understand what exactly the point you're making. Okay, that was the thing which I found lacking. और मैथ्स का स्किल्स होना ही चाहिए, नथिंग मतलब उसमें तो बेसिक चीजें। ये प्रोबेबिलिटी क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी था, हाफ प्रोबेबिलिटी होगा लास्ट का, लेकिन ठीक है, लेट्स नॉट मूव इनटू इट। एंड चलिए, इट वाज नाइस टॉकिंग टू यू। मैथ्स स्किल्स आपका स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए। If you are going for IMA or C even, then it should be, you should maths both check होने वाला है। Okay, any other feedback from any person? We should close it.
So I have a question. So in my form, I have already mentioned it something like that, like I was working with the founder and the product is in development phase and something like that.
आप change कर सकते हैं ना। See, इंटरव्यू का बेसिक पॉइंट्स क्या होता है, हर एक अच्छा इंटरव्यू का लॉजिक क्या होता है कि दे विल गिव यू अ वेरी बिग लीश। ओके, तो वो आपको अलाउ करेंगे टू टेक यू वेयर एवर यू वांट टू। ओके, सो दैट विल, तो आप सीधे मैट्रिक्स पे बोलने लग जाना। जैसे ही वो अकम्प्लिशमेंट का बात होता है, स्टार्ट टेकिंग देम इनटू मैट्रिक्स कि ये हुआ फाउंडर का जो भी एडटेक वेंचर यू वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट earlier had a revenues of this, or maybe footfall of this, maybe the click ratio or conversions of this much, and this is what I did and this is what it resulted in. This was an increase percentage, uska ye result hua। agar even project start bhi nahi hua hai, then also many experimentations keeps on moving. For example, you may run a कि अगर हम अपने प्रोडक्ट को these are the strengths we are working with, what exactly the if you're using focus groups or anything, you have some analytics with you. जैसे आपको भी मार्केटिंग अगर रिसर्च करेंगे तो obviously you were talking about something like that, तो you should have a numbers with it। वो तो आप ले जा सकते हैं, लेकिन आपसे आप नया जब भी कर रहे हैं, आपका why me answer, why you answer, your long and short term goals answer, and your accomplishment answer should be very clear and precise. Okay. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Okay. Thank you, Arshita. Thanks.
Thank you so much.